already?
Okay. Hopefully audio and all works now.
There it is. I hear the horn.
Yeah.
The cruise boat whistle, but one of my girls does. That's what it sounds like.
Read and stand and pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Like how I snuck some things on there today for you guys.
I was shocked.
I'm sorry. You want to get out of here sooner?
Yeah,
I bet you were shocked.
15-minute deal.
I know, I have to be in Des Moines Tuesday by 2.
I understand. Okay, Nora is not here yet.
Well, she said she's coming, but...
She did? She
said
sent me
she's
an
in
email,
town.
she's in Independence today.
Oh, so maybe she's not. Well, here it is. It's just the provider contract service and rate for the Access Hub Sustainability Coordination. So it's just the yearly thing that we have to renew and the procedure codes and all that stuff, so. You just need your formal action to approve and let you get that signed. I think we're up to 9,000 for
And if
the
they
year.
had it done too. Rick probably remembers more than I do.
Yeah, right.
How about we get the information out, 4 and 5 for that alcohol
Yep.
permits, then there's something we can look at.
So the casino one is for a full 12 month.
Okay. They're going after it then.
Yep. So they're gonna have it for the full year. But the state will monitor that too, like if somebody else comes in to,
Theirs dropped off.
yes. So, but the state will notify us so we can go back and forth or whatever.
Okay.
And then that McBride one is their normal. Where is it? Is that one hooked to that one here?
No. Okay.
Oh, why did I have that one? Mine might be still on my desk, but if you want to approve that one, I'll just get your initial twos and you can do the online stuff on it.
Okay.
Theirs is just the 5-day normal ones that they ask for.
Okay.
On number 6,
Yeah.
we do it after you do it.
Going back to this one,
Okay.
item 2.
It look all right?
Yeah, I don't remember that rate though.
This is for the hub.
Yeah.
But not the other stuff we did last week.
Sure. Okay, good. It is what it is. So make a motion that we authorize your signature to it. Sorry, you feller.
That's still that past year where we get reimbursed.
I
so,
get it,
yeah.
Okay, do you second it, Gary? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, I figured it was past year.
Yeah.
I move we pass Class C alcohol license with C.
So it's
Okay.
more like.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll give it back to you.
The number 5, I think I left that one on my desk, so I was just looking at it, but that's that McBride mobile. So it's just a 5-day one. And then I'll get Tracy to sign it Tuesday.
Okay, what's the dates? Oh,
No, let me ask Tina if you want to know.
we've done this
Yeah.
number of times, just be nice to know the date.
Yep, and I already sent that other thing that we did for the waiver to the
Sure.
state. There's that captain.
How about we do this, we'll make a motion to approve that for McBride. You said everything's in order, you just forgot to bring it.
And the background check was good. It's, I think it's just laying on my desk. So
Sure.
she'll let me know the dates here.
Maybe just, okay, that sounds good. So I'll make the motion that we approve it, and you'll give us the dates.
Thank you.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Last Rick, last two.
Okay, so the medical examiner investigator, Elena informed him that Mindy Eisenbeis is going to be, she's the Belle Plaine area. And she's got some busy stuff going on, so he would like somebody else in that area. And David Islander is currently working law enforcement and is an EMT in Belle Plaine.
And this is for,
Investigation, medical examiner.
oh, medical examiner,
Yeah.
okay, all right, there, David, yeah,
Motion. Okay. I have a second.
yeah.
All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. The medical examiner. Aye. That's that decaf contract.
Right, right.
I guess we should stop because we're past our 105, right?
I got 106.
You guys can finish what you need to. I
No.
don't have anywhere else to be, so.
They weren't planning on me throwing all kinds of stuff on there.
I don't know what all you need from me, but we did hold our interviews. We selected Grace Petrozelka for employment as public health administrator, negotiated the salary, $75,000 annually. And so it sounds like she's passed her background check. And I think you guys just have to sign off on that hire.
And then her and I, we created a resolution with that amount, as long as you guys approve it. And then we were talking about what her date was to start, and I did look at that service area 3, so I created line items for public health, for salaries and, you know, office equipment, all that stuff for starting July 1st, but if she would start like say Monday,
Mhm.
it's still the end of this fiscal year, we're just trying to figure out how to pay her. And so I did talk to Barb Greenlee, because with, they had some cushion in that department, obviously. So I might do a service area amendment on Tuesday, move some of that, shift that spending authority, depending on what one payroll would cost to have this new girl overlap with Katie for a few days.
Katie Cox with Virginia Gate is willing to take Grace as soon as she's willing to start, which she would be willing as soon as Monday, to do a couple weeks of overlap so that they could, you know, do that transition. It's just, it would be in this fiscal year, which we haven't budgeted for.
Sure. And that makes sense, because they need to exchange information.
Sooner the better.
Yeah.
Exactly,
But then our issue is where is she gonna have an office space?
okay. What was Grace's last name?
Petrozelka?
Sure, okay.
Does she have hyphenated wage too on that?
On her resume, she didn't, but I don't know if legally.
I think on the one she signed, she did.
Okay,
So that's how I put it in the
Okay.
resolution.
okay.
Okay, I winged it.
And then office space is our next question. Where are we putting that?
Do you want us to approve the hiring of that first? I think that would be.
How much for the wage, starting wage?
75.
75. And the start date is going to be this coming Monday, the 19th.
Well, I guess that's the question.
'Cause that would be, technically our pay period ends today, so it would be a new start of a pay period as well.
On
So
Monday.
by the time we
She's
pay.
willing to start as soon as Monday, but whether or not physical, I mean, all the stuff from the employment ends.
Yeah.
I notified her of the hire yesterday, so, she's willing to start as soon as Monday,
But she would report with Katie probably that first, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the first few days, she's probably gonna hang there. isn't she?
probably first 2 weeks, because Virginia Gay
Oh,
is doing
first
public
2
health until June 30th.
Okay.
So they are contracted to do public health through June 30th.
As long as you can squeeze it in to the.
Well, that's why
probation.
I'll move that spending authority Tuesday in the service area amendment if you guys approve this today.
I think we need to, yeah. I'll make a motion that we go ahead and hire Grace Petroselka, something like that. And starting wage of $75,000 as the new public health director for Benton County.
Okay.
Starting Monday,
Yeah.
the 19th, June 19th.
Okay.
Primer aye.
Here's that guy.
Seaman,
Then, yeah, so we know where it'll be for 2 weeks, but we'll have to know if Ben has to get her computer and email and all that stuff set up.
And ideally, we would, so the computer and those things have been purchased with public health funds from Virginia Gay, so those will come with her. And so we should have some hardware that will come. Ideally, we would start moving things during that 2 weeks too, because there's some equipment and boxes, and so knowing during that time that she's getting trained by Katie, also moving things would be helpful. So knowing sooner rather than later where she'll be would be great to be able to start moving
How
all the
large
stuff.
of an area is she gonna be? I know right now it's a cubicle.
Right, but then they also store a lot of things at Virginia Gay. So all of the emergency, all of
That stuff's probably not gonna be in her office.
it doesn't need to be, no, as long as there is space to store stuff.
Sure.
So an office space would be sufficient.
We can probably discuss that after.
I got 2 options in my mind right now, and I don't want to say no.
Yeah, and I've got a couple thoughts too. Yeah. Okay, I think we might do. Obviously, we better, right?
We're very excited about her. She was a great interview, great candidate. Lives in the community already, so.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
She lives here in Benton, right?
She does, yeah. She just graduated from UNI. She was the commencement speaker at UNI and had dual degrees in gerontology and public health. So just great catch for us.
Good.
So then we'll just keep you posted when they decide
Do you want to communicate with her about start date? Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, we can. I think she hasn't been in yet today that I know of.
Okay.
I know, isn't she coming in our office today?
Yeah.
So I'll let the girls know that.
Okay,
we know.
sounds good. All right, thanks. There's anything else for me?
Thank you for your work on it.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for your support.
So back to the McBride dates, July 17th and 21st. So I'll put that in your motion.
What was that date?
July 17th through 21st.
Okay, thank you.
Can we hammer out that detail?
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a rubber stamp thing.
What it is, what it is.
Yeah, yep. I'll make a motion that we authorize your signature on this, DCAT. So you're,
Have a second?
yeah,
All in favor?
second. Aye.
Aye. Mr. Fleming.
Seems one that just got you right on the time there.
Well, I'm coming here is dual purpose, looking for some help and to get some information. The help part of it is you're probably all aware of the fence situation out there on 218.
I've seen it.
Well, it's been going on for almost 2 years now. DOT's made contact. Michael was figured on being here, so something must have come up for Benton office.
Okay, from
But
the
the
DOT, okay.
And we gotta get something reserved there, and I seem to get nothing done with the watershed. And on top of that, the guy that bought the corner timber up there across the road from it, my son was up there bailing night before last, and the impact basin on the north side of the road, there's water running over the top of it and down into it. The only possible place for that water to be going under 218 is from my pond. So that's why the DOT is extra interested in that. I don't know what you do to get the watershed motivated, but I'm looking for help there. Because I can yell and holler and carry on and I get nothing. We're working on it. Well, I don't know how long it takes to hire somebody to move a fence, but I've even called them when I saw fencing, people that go around and do fencing for people in the area and say, hey, these guys are in the area, here's the number off the truck, and nothing happens. But this leak situation is not something to take lightly, because you're going under a state highway. My gut feeling is it's coming through the old box culvert that was supposed to be filled with flowable concrete. But I can't prove that. But I know it's just been on short notice that I'm hitting you with this, but my experience is to get the watershed to do anything, you just gotta crawl, just constantly screaming and you get nowhere. So I guess what I'm asking is, do you guys have ideas?
Well, I was gonna say, my first question is on the fencing. That's gotta be moved, and it's not a real long section at all.
No, it's not.
And so, once he finishes with this, once they finish whatever they're looking at, I would ask the question, is there money someplace available that we could hire this moved? We can't leave it there.
Just wait, because Jennifer Pencil responded to us.
Okay. And if so,
Well, I have a couple, just a second. I
did send it.
I didn't get,
Oh, Michael thought the meeting was being held out to the pond, so I don't know if he's trying to get back here.
sure.
He's headed back to town to try to get here, so I'm gonna talk to him probably here in a few minutes. He's out there.
Well, moving the fence is something that's gotta get done. It's in the state's right away.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's got to move about 12.5 feet.
Right. Point blank, is that something Scott would be able to do?
I'll be real frank with you guys. We've been asked to put a bid on it, and we put a bid on it. And I imagine you all know what the bid is.
Nope.
Well, it's high.
Okay.
Because there's been a whole lot of other aggravation that goes along with what went on out in the watershed. There was two other people. My understanding, one backed out. I don't know what the issue is with the other one. I have not heard any response as to what even is happening there. I just get, well, we're working on it. It seems like they have a lot of rollover and help. People are supposedly in charge of it. 3 months down the road, somebody else is in charge of it. So,
Well, it's not a very large project, and so it's gonna be
the issue I hear from most of the people is we're not gonna move all our equipment in to tear out that little chunk and put it back in.
yeah.
They said it's more aggravation than what's worth, and,
Yeah.
It's just like when we move our dirt equipment, we have what we call mobilization.
Sure.
We move our equipment in and there's a charge for that.
I don't recall, Jim, is that T-post or is that a,
It's partial, it's 2 T's and 1 wood.
okay,
If my memory serves me right.
okay,
It's partial wood, partial steel.
sure,
5 bar.
okay. And approximately how many feet would you say?
I knew you was gonna ask me that.
I can visualize it, but I can't, I'm sorry.
I'm guessing it's 100 yards or a little more.
Okay,
Somewhere in
All right.
that category.
Sure. sure. Now comes a loaded question. This is something Myron would take on.
When do they want it done?
As soon as possible.
Well, yeah, DOT wants it out of there.
I'm just asking.
Yeah. I mean, it just,
So they started last fall already, right? The DOT?
No, they started before that.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys are aware, it started out, and I can't think of the guy's name. I think he used to live here in Benton. He had a heart attack and passed away. He was the one that started it. Well, then, I don't remember how this all goes. Because there's been like 3 guys that have been, then they had a temporary that filled in for him and thought he was gonna get the job, then he didn't get it, and then Michael got the job. When Michael gets here, he can probably fill in on that better than I can, but they have.
With DOT.
Watershed. Pardon?
yeah, with DOT,
Michael is the DOT.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Michael has talked to Don of WH, is it KS?
Mhm.
And I think you left
Yeah.
there now too.
And Don's the one that I talk to all the time, but it seems like, I don't know whether Don's roadblocking me or whether he's getting roadblocked. But we've got another situation, had it compounded on top of this, that
Mhm.
has some serious repercussions, because you and I both know, as dry as it's been, there's no source of water coming out of that bank in 218. It's been dry. I got pictures I can show you.
Well,
See
and
pictures.
part of, to remedy this leakage, is the fence gonna have to come out anyway.
Maybe. It depends. It depends. Using my own personal summation, I think it's coming from the cement
Benton County
overflow
Supervisors?
tube.
Hi, have I called the right place to ask about fireworks permits?
The supervisors, yep, they do handle that.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Like a,
Sure.
is it in the city limits or out in the county?
No, out in the county, on Highway 30 by Atkins, there's 2. I'm just curious who they belong to.
Oh,
The places for sale that they're
that
selling?
sell
Oh, that part,
That are
that,
selling fireworks?
that part we don't. We only do the permits for when they light them off and stuff.
Oh, okay,
It's part of
okay.
the
Do
state.
you know who I would contact for those?
I would say probably the state, they would have to be registered with.
Oh, okay. Sure, okay. I'll
Sorry.
check it out, thanks.
Yep.
No
bye.
problem.
Alright, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, of course. Okay, move.
So if that is leaking in that concrete area, does the fence have to come out for that?
Well, here, I don't know, has Vinny been out there and looked at the structure?
I have, I've been by it a
it.
gazillion
I
times.
walked it.
Well, it's basically, 4 foot across, 5 foot across. It's a big cement round, and it's got a wall coming right up through the middle of it.
Mhm.
That wall is what you call the overflow wall. The water comes up the south side of it. When it gets to where like the pond gets full, then it cascades over the other side and goes down. As the water started rising, as we started to fill the pond, there started to be around the seams, there started to be seepage. Well, the seepage goes through onto the north side of there. So if it's seeping within itself, it's more than likely that it's leaking around it. Because basically, the bottom part of the cement structure, it comes in and then goes up and flattens out, and there's like a rubber seal there, and that actually sits on top of that. But if it's like I say, if it's seeping inside, what's it doing outside? I don't, I'm just guessing, but I know there's some issues of the pipe underneath 218, where, see, that went through a 4x4 box culvert. There's a DOT truck now. And there's a 2 foot, well, it's a
He did come through the
Heavy-
alleyway here.
heavy pipe about yay big thick, and, I think there's some water issues where I don't think the water's going through the dirt structure of under the highway. I think it's going through the culvert itself where the flowable concrete that went in there was not held the way it should be and allowed its air pockets. Because this didn't happen just overnight. So,
Please shut the door.
Any place to sit special?
Well, let's go over by Jim.
Perfect.
We're looking at him now.
Sorry about that, I misunderstood, I thought we were out.
I apologize, maybe I didn't explain this.
I was just listening.
There's, you know, like I said, I got some pictures here that I can show you.
And we'll want to see
There's
those.
no way there's water anywhere in that roadbed. It's been dry. How long it's been seeping over that top, I don't know. I know the pond has dropped 8 inches, but I know that we got drought situation going on there too.
Sure.
And it's,
Cause there should be no water going in the overflow at all right
There
now.
isn't.
You should be able to look down and it should be dry.
yeah.
Is it?
Well, no, it's damp from the seepage that's going through, but the water on the south part of it is probably 2.5 foot down from that overflow part.
Mm-hmm.
And the other side is just the damp, it's where the seams of them put together, and you can see it. But there's really, I don't know how to tell you for sure, there's dampness down there, there's water down there in the bottom. But it's not enough that it's running out of that pipe on the north end. There is a little bit of moisture over there, yes. But it's, this water was, and in one of the pictures you can see the ripples. The shadows down there, I just couldn't get the water to show up, but.
Now, when it goes through, it should be dumping out then on the other north side of 218 then?
Where it's getting wet and coming up is right as it comes up to the cement catch basin. The impact basins are basically what they call it. But I worked in the city of Garrison for about 8 years. And we had water lines blow, mains and stuff. A lot of times you didn't dig where the water come up. You could hire a company, they could come in and sound it. That water will follow a pipe for a certain amount of age because that ground's been disturbed. And so when it hits something where it's softer and it can come to the top, that's where it comes up. And my feeling is when it gets to that impact basin, that ground's all, was put in there and it's looser and it's coming up and coming over. Because you get that far south of that impact basin and you're back on solid ground. But when it gets right up to that concrete, it starts getting wet. But the pond ain't full. What's going to happen? As the pond gets full, we get rain, more rain, normal rain, is that slope gonna slump. That's where Michael comes in. So, you got anything you want to add here, Michael?
I have not actually put eyes on it, I was out there,
Yeah.
but I will have to give a good, look at it and see what we're actually dealing with, talking and listening to you, I can understand, but without actually seeing.
Yeah.
I don't have much right now, no.
Haley had sent us copies of the contract. Unfortunately, the contract just says that you're supposed to contact the NRCS office for technical assistance. That's what it says. And I know you've contacted the watershed people to say, what the hey? I'm not sure what NRCS means.
That'd be the FSA.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
You'd have to talk to Becky.
And I don't know if all the individual contracts were different or that's the one we pulled out, so.
well, this doesn't matter, this.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
I don't know what good it's gonna do to contact Becky when they have no, I'll be honest, guys, the contract with the watershed people, from where I sit and what has gone down out there is about as worthless as the air on top of this table. You know, it's just,
did Jennifer respond to anything?
That's who, yesterday she did,
That's where all these come from.
cause I thought maybe she could attend today as well, but she
The
couldn't.
water, the number 9, the 2080 agreement?
No,
Totally different.
that's different.
Okay,
Totally
Two
different.
different things with her, no.
okay.
The contract that you were looking at and talking about, that's his.
Right,
That come from Jennifer.
that came from
With
Jennifer.
her email.
Okay, okay.
She said, look at page
She got the
9.
email. I didn't get it. You didn't get it either, so. But
But she did,
Haley copied,
and then
everything.
copied us in
yeah,
on it, yes.
Yeah, so
on what she sent us.
said
Right.
page 9, number 2, and page 13 should do the trick.
Yeah, so I never got that far yet. My fault, I didn't. I printed it and looked at it yet.
Well, I don't know about these aren't numbered.
It goes to 3,
1,
4, 5, 6,
3,
7, 8.
5, 6.
Okay, now what's that she say
Page
then?
9, number 2 and 13.
So see on number,
Number 2, look for rodent activity on the embankment. Trap or authorize remove rodents. Well,
yeah, I got that as page 7,
okay.
but, okay.
Okay,
But
what
item
was the other
3
one then?
is,
13.
Yeah, 13.
13.
I can give you the NRCS number if you want.
no, I can get all Becky, we deal with her all the time, but I can tell you what she's gonna
The
tell you.
site,
What do you
site
think?
for grazing, check livestock trails, vegetation, establish, repair, and receipt. That ain't got nothing to do with
Yeah.
that either.
well, actually, number 3 and number 8 are the ones that I highlighted. Inspect the embankment for any slewing or for holes that may have developed. Basically, contact your local NRCS.
Okay,
And that's the same thing. Number 8, look for wet areas on the back slope of the embankment and on downstream embutments. Contact your local, I get it. Contacting them, but fixing it is what we want to do.
Correct.
It's gotta be fixed. And I don't know if this ASCS office, Becky, if there's funds available through her to fix this.
What, okay,
Cause this was.
what I'm thinking here is, this would be a pond that'd be standing alone. This pond isn't standing alone, it's standing as part of the structure of 218. Because it's built into the wall of 218. Part of the agreement when we did it was I furnished the dirt that went around, because that was pretty much a sheer drop off on the north side.
Mhm.
To slope that, so if somebody did go off there, they stand a chance of going down there without flipping over and getting killed.
Sure.
So, I mean, we hauled a lot of dirt over there to slope that pavement and shape it on the DOT property. And the impact basin, my understanding, that when we did it, is right on the outer edge of the DOT property. So this, all this area we're talking about is part of the DOT. But they did this with the understanding, and like I said, I'm telling what I have been just heard and told, that the watershed was to take care to get the water into the impact basin and not, boiling up out of the
Yeah, not around it.
road bed where that
Yeah.
There's situations there, I mean, there's tile coming down to that structure from both sides, but they dump out clear down at the base, at the front of the impact basin.
Do we need to have a meeting with Jennifer to see how to get this taken care of?
We can, but I know the biggest problem is when it comes to funds, because there is no more money. That's the whole problem.
And I know that they are trying to put together another go-round.
Yeah,
If that gets put together, I would think this would be part of the project. It almost have to be. If it's not, who's gonna stand the bill for fixing this problem? Well, do you go back on the bond?
well, see, we are, now, see, that's the only thing, I wonder on the bond part, is the leakage. So we can get through that on the bond part.
When it comes to that part, guys, don't even look at me, cause you know the issue there.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I gotta-
that becomes a Jennifer thing
Yeah.
to push that.
Yeah, because see, they tried pushing it with the fence this winter. And technically, I don't agree with it, but they said the fence is built, the fence is in good shape, there's nothing wrong with the fence. Well, the fence is in the wrong
It's in the wrong
spot,
spot. Yeah.
but that don't matter. We build a fence, the fence is a good fence, so that's where, you know, they get the, right away they wanna run around and get bids to move the fence.
Sure.
Well, that's ridiculous what they wanna move the fence for. That's just,
Well, ridiculous
Just
or
put
not,
a new
fence.
And take the old one out, throw it away.
yeah, but it's a brand new fence, it's a year old.
Everything needs to be moved. It just needs to be moved.
Yeah, yeah, and
Plain and simple. That's, the bottom line is, who's gonna pay for it,
right,
you know?
And you've talked to them.
It'll cost
about
more to
that.
do
He, I left a voicemail, never heard back after that, the second phone call.
And that was to whom, please?
What's his name?
Don,
and see, I don't think he's with the company anymore.
Right,
This is the fencing company.
No,
gone.
this is the,
The fencing company's gone.
well, the one that I gave you the number for was Don from WH and then.
yeah, I don't think
I
he's
don't know
with
what
them.
that is.
Well, he's still there, cause I
Oh, yeah?
talked to him yesterday.
Okay,
What is this?
that's the guy that,
You're thinking of, there was a guy above him, can't think of his name, he quit and moved to a different place.
Okay. Who is this?
okay, Adam was in charge of all this.
Correct.
He's the one that reported us and did everything.
Right.
Adam's gone.
Right.
Got dumped on Jennifer.
Right.
Way over her head.
Definitely.
So she in turn got not architect,
Engineer?
engineer, made him in charge of these projects
Sure.
to report to her. This is this Don.
Okay. Okay.
Got it now?
Okay.
So there's
Now I
where
know
there's,
who we're talking about.
yeah, okay, that's where the problem comes in. This Don and Jennifer, you know, Don tells her,
Well, if Jennifer and Don are not responding to us, we need to go through county attorney's office to get a hold of them.
Jennifer has been dealing with Ray, the county attorney, over the fence issue.
Okay? But now we have a bigger issue.
Yes, but like I said, the more I think about it, I would think the bond should cover this, because I know in my family, this southern Iowa has nothing to do with it. Same way, build a pond, the pond filled up a year later, and all of a sudden, pulled the plug out, and it drained her out. You know,
I know of some other situations, but guys, I got an axe hanging over my head, ready to take my head off, so.
Right, right.
I'm stopping my conversation right there.
Sure. Well, this is something to talk to Jennifer and Don about. And
yeah,
if we've gotta go through If they're already talking with Ray,
Just talk with Ray over the fence.
over the fence, now
Not-
we add,
Yeah, not
now
this,
we add
not
this.
the leakage.
Yeah.
And you know, I wish I could've got, I was busy all day today, I wanted to slip out there before the meeting to look at it, cause I did look at the fence. I got all that information wrote down in my vehicle outside, I knew how many wooden posts there is, how many steel posts there is. I think you're right, I think it's 100 yards long, or it's 120 yards long.
Somewhere in there.
I don't remember now, but I even got that down, it's outside in the vehicle, but I mean,
It don't make any difference.
that's right.
It's gotta, it's
It's
supposed
gotta
to
be
be moved to get it off the right of way. Okay, here's what I'm looking at, guys. They come over that hill, and this happened before I even owned the property. Guy come over the hill, there's a little driveway to the north that's just above the impact basin, comes out of the middle of the timber. Deer come out of there, he swerved to miss it. On the south side, before we built the pond, there was a bunch of just shrub trees up there. The car wound up going up over top of them, getting kinda caught, did a multiple rollover and wound up right across that box culvert clear down the bottom. He walked away, but if this happens now, a car rolls, what comes up on one of them steel posts, goes through and impales somebody, who's in for the lawsuit?
That's that liability word.
That's, you know,
So the biggest thing is to get the fence removed, right?
that and get one back in, cause I run cattle over there. And I'm running on electric wires, which
So you got cattle out there now?
they're going out this weekend, but they was out there all last summer with electric wires.
Okay.
The pond area itself, I cannot run the cattle.
That's what I
That's part of my contract.
You
And I
don't run them around then on the west side of the pond where the gate is on the gravel road?
It's going, the fence, when we get all done, I want to have a perimeter fence around just like that, wire, because of insurance reasons. What I'm gonna do is run another fence from the south corner post where the gates are, straight east down to the pond, and if you notice, there's that little dike, well, it's where I got the pile of concrete.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna go zigzag and go around the upper part of the pond about halfway up that south slope.
Okay.
Because I don't want the cows getting that slope, you know, how they follow a fence line. Pretty soon you gotta run,
Yep.
running down here, and next thing you got half the hill cutting in the gully. That's the plan, but I want this perimeter fence in place before I start playing with my internal fences.
Okay.
Cause I got a double electric wire there right now. If you went out there today, I've got it all mowed, trimmed around that wire.
Okay, where you get, the fence that's gotta be moved, that quits both sides of the pond. It quits it. It don't get up next to the old fence.
Nope.
And then, to the west, there is no fence.
That's my problem.
Yeah, That's
my
what I was
problem.
wondering.
See, my ideal is, this was part of the pond project, why am I responsible? Cause I wasn't the one that screwed it up. Well, why should I be paying or going through the process of moving all this when it wasn't my problem, you know? I wanna hook onto that and bring my east fence over, hook onto that corner face, start from that corner post, go to the west corner, and go back to my gate. I got the post, the wire, everything's been laying out there in a hay rack for 2 years now. To put the rest of that fence in, but it doesn't make, damn corner post right now is $40, a 10-inch, 8-foot corner post. You know, building fence is not a cheap process anymore. But I'm sure Michael's looking at it the same way I am. The liability is somebody, the only thing I've ever done to that fence, you'll notice 2 no trespassing signs there. And that's it, I screwed them on there for my own sake, and that's it.
What were the bids to, were the bids just to remove it and reinstall or just to remove it?
Both. 5 to remove it, 5 to put it back. That's nuts.
Like cutting that hard. Like you said, there's no sense of you having to do it just because it was installed wrong initially.
And see, that's where we were trying to get at, any information where in the contract, in all the blueprints, where it said the fence goes here. You know, who said
Right.
this where it goes.
The primary, the gentleman that had the heart attack, the first,
The first guy,
yeah, I can't remember his name, but he had the heart attack.
I don't know that.
But we had a meeting before we started this project, because it was even about putting the signs on the highway in certain places and stuff. In the schematic, there should be on one of the pages, do you have the page with all the signing and stuff?
I'm sure we do,
But it had the distances and stuff, but like I said, I'm stopping there because
well, we'll start with Jennifer, I guess. See if we can get Jennifer and Don together. And I guess worst scenario, I guess I will help remove the fence.
well, I'd appreciate anything because I want something there because either that or I'm gonna drive a couple posts to put sign there because just for my own liability. I don't want somebody to go thinking that's a swimming hole and go play in. I know there's a pond just east of me, clear out in the middle of frickin' timber, way away from the highway, and he's got people swimming in his pond. Yeah, that ain't why I built it. My son lives 2 miles northeast of me, my daughter lives a mile and a half west of me. I have 5 grandchildren. We all love to hunt, fish. That was a recreation area for my family. I'm 70 years old, gonna be 71 here in August. I'd like to spend a little time, my first grandchild graduated this year, so they're gonna be moving out on their own, and I'd like to spend some time with them. And it's just become a pain in the butt, period.
Well, I can't speak for the other guys, but I said I will, we get done here in a decent hour today. I'll slip out there and I wanna look at where it's,
You call me, I'll walk in there.
okay.
Because I'm not kidding you. It goes, I was up there last night and I got the pictures I can show you too. You go 2 foot south in there or 3 foot south in there, it's dry again. So the water to me is chasing that pipe right up to that cement mix.
Okay,
And then it's coming up behind that wall, coming over.
alright.
And I have no idea when it started. I hadn't been back there. We wouldn't have known it till today even. The kid went back there trying to roll up some hay for the neighbor. I think there's a half a windrow still laying out there because he's scared to go up on that side slope with the tractor and baler. The guy got a rake, but getting back up out of there on that other end of that driveway is just a little bit ticklish.
Alright, we'll do it that way. I'll give you a call, Jim, and get out of here a decent time. Hopefully.
I have no problems with that whatsoever.
Are you contacting Jennifer then?
I will, yeah. I got her number.
All right, very good. So, we need to quit screwing around, don't we?
Makes you not wanna join the number 9 for sure, huh?
Uh-huh, I get it. And that's, yeah, kind of disgusting.
I got them contracts there printed off, but.
And I will not be fiscal agent.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see what we can do. We'll let you know.
Appreciate anything we can get done, and it's something that, we get into weather season and that pond fills up, what's the next thing that's
Okay.
I don't want somebody's death on my head.
Okay.
You want to say?
I will just obviously go out and take a look at it too,
Yeah.
now, later, whenever you want, and see exactly, get eyes on it, see exactly what we're dealing with, but, yeah, if anything from our end, give me a holler.
Yeah, and I'll do, on my way home, I'll go out and I'll see if Becky's there. But what I'm getting from what Rick read there is if you had a pond out in the middle of a field somewhere and some badger or muskrat was digging a hole in there, they want you to dispose of it and, seal that hole somehow.
Yeah, but
That does, I don't see where that even entails with the situation we got here. My understanding, when Adam and I set this up, this was the first one of a kind in the state of Iowa. They had several locations they wanted to do something like this. This worked out to, because originally the pond was supposed to be in the east draw. I always visualized it as a horseshoe like it is now. And so he went at it with, went and talked to the DOT. The DOT jumped on it and he said, that sounds like something we'd like to get involved in, because we've got several other places we'd like to do something similar to that. And my part of it was to furnish the dirt and do the work to get stuff on the north side of the road squared away. So, Adam personally, myself, I will say, was the only one I thought it treated me straight up truthful. And because the first time I went, they had a meeting out here to the Legion Hall, and I went to that because I was interested in the pond. At that time, my south fence line on the pasture was the north border of the watershed proposal. The next year, he come back to me and said they're not getting any takers. If they moved that boundary north, would I be still interested? And that's when the boundary got moved way north of me. And I said, sure thing. And then things started happening. So,
I'm gonna let you feed 3 of these before you leave tonight or today. What I marked in that contract. So you kind of know what Rick's thinking about what the NRCSS.
okay. I probably got it at home somewhere if I can figure out where I filed it. But I'll stop. I'll talk to Becky
Okay.
and you give me a ring.
Yep, will do.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
See you, Jim.
And I wasn't the original one that got involved with this, but Jim Glaspie that was there before me. He was the one that.
Yeah, he's kind of the fill-in guy.
Well, he was a supervisor for Urbana Independence before me, and then he went to the railroad.
Oh,
I've been in Urbana for 6 years, so
That's fine with
I
me.
don't know about it,
Perfect, perfect.
I wasn't
They put it on there.
out there originally.
Yeah, it was an older, taller
You really
thing,
see what's going on with this.
but he had a heart
I
attack.
don't wanna get into
So it wasn't the guy I was thinking of.
mess.
So I think I'm right.
Oh, you probably are.
Table it.
Yeah.
I know he passed away.
Table number 9, which is the watershed 28
Oh,
agreement.
right.
I just, thanks, guys.
See you
Thank
now,
you.
Jim. Okay, this one was not on the review.
Oh, no, that's because when we did the budget, they're wanting to know if we're gonna give them that allocation. I'm not sure if everybody saw that too. So I didn't want to answer her without you guys.
Yeah, I didn't think we were doing it.
But, who do you want to be the bad guy to tell them, no, they're not getting their funding they
The
requested?
sheriff. That's his recommendation.
Well, I was thinking, didn't they meet?
They had another,
Yeah,
So I
see,
needed
I was on the sheriff's office.
So they're the
I was
ones-
invited to that too.
on that form, remember, I've never given it back to them whether we did or didn't. On the other ones, I've sent them on it. So that's why that is basically, they want to answer.
How about this? what I remember of that deal, you should contact Ron and you should, probably Ray on it too. Them two did all the discussion with them young gals over there at the sheriff's office. I just sat in and listened. That's all I was there for a pair of years.
The last I knew, there was no recommendation to throw any funds that way.
So, talk to them two.
I know Ray's gonna be gone next week, and I'll be gone next week, but, I can try to find out, but I know they're probably trying to start their new fiscal budget as well. I don't need it, because she emailed me.
Okay. That wasn't on the agenda anyway.
No, it wasn't. It was
No, but I just thought
one
you
of
guys,
my many.
I get it.
If I don't print them off with all,
I know.
I forget.
Yep.
I did kind of bombard you guys yesterday. Well, then when I went in to fix, I knew what I did on the web. It was posted right, but I didn't click notify subscribers, so.
Alright, now let's get to number 10.
Yep.
Gary, you didn't bring them along? I'll give you Tuesday.
Was there 2 positions advertised? Or 1?
Thank you. I can go, I'll pull up the app for you. It says, currently accepting applications. For roadside manager position, duties include developing and managing. Oh, wait, that's, hold on. Sorry. I took it off the web already. It's a full-time roadside manager and, also looking for part-time, seasonal, and possible full-time, so it is a
Okay,
job.
so it's both intern as well as manager. Yeah,
Or part-time, seasonal, yeah.
2 full, and a part-time.
alright, so it's 2 full and 1 seasonal.
Right.
Alright. Well, you copied my ABC.
Yes, I did.
I think that's what we should tackle first. Remember looking them over, Gary?
Yeah.
So you can put that on there, so I'll put that in there.
Okay.
So I'll hold off. I haven't said on that.
Like I said, talk to them 2 guys.
I'll do it right now, so I can.
This is how I did them, right, because you can't use names. That's on the manager, A, B, and C. So Tracy, what do you think? A, B, C. You gotta pick 2 of them. One's gonna be a manager, and the other's full-time, correct?
Correct.
Now, do you want to just interview all 3 and see how that works? I mean, that's what we're here to do.
Well,
Or are you just gonna hire from there?
I thought, when I'm looking at it, for a manager position, I would like to interview A and B
Okay. All right,
for the manager position.
yeah,
And then also letter C would be whichever one we decide between A and B would be second choice.
okay, so,
And then you decide between, after that, and guy at C
well,
for the second position. And this other group over here that's numbered, I thought them are the interns.
right, right. Yeah. And really, I thought the interns were the ones that were hired by the manager,
Yeah,
so,
that's kind of what I thought. I mean,
yeah. That's pretty well what you need to do is turn that over to the manager.
right,
So our main function is 2 people out of the A, B, and C.
true, but I guess what I'm looking at, if you want to get that technical about it, we should pick the manager, and then the manager should pick,
The second,
yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
so you want to interview A and B.
Yes,
Okay, I'm good with that. And you're gonna forget C.
for the manager position.
Okay, that's fine.
And then, like I said,
Well, what, he didn't have it down for the intern.
no,
C.
no. A, B, and C are all for the manager's position.
Correct. And you want to interview the A and B.
That's what I thought.
Okay, I'm good with that.
If you wanna listen to number C, I'm not against it, but
From what I could, my concern on C was the longevity anywhere. You want to set it up?
I can.
And then you'll let us know, or do you want to try to set the time for a day?
Well, see, the other problem is, if we set it up all three of us, I need help from her office.
Right.
She's gonna be leaving Tuesday, so that's gonna leave,
We can have
But
any of them.
You can get somebody from the
yeah,
office.
I mean,
Well, yeah, cause the fair too, so I do have a short staff, so just,
Yeah.
we'll have to plan ahead.
you know. So I was wondering, can we maybe do this Monday already if I line them up?
I don't have a problem.
Monday?
I'll have nothing else to do.
No, you're lucky. You're also a liar.
Gonna tear a fence out?
And before we set agendas and posts, maybe make those calls and
Yeah,
So it's gonna be an exempt session with doing the interviews, isn't it? You cannot.
note, because they're not technically your employees yet. Yeah, so it's still an open meeting, if you all three sit in your interviews. Kinda like,
Not open
remember, if you
meeting.
look back at how we did the treasurer's applicants and stuff,
Okay.
then you can ask them while they're in here as an individual, if they want to go into
We
closed
could
session.
ask them that.
Then they can go into closed session for that other section, but it's not an exempt session until they ask you to go into closed session.
Okay, so we can ask the individuals
Yes,
as they come in if they'd like to be in closed session. Okay.
two different sections we're talking about.
So then it's closed session, let's say one says yes and one says I don't
Then
care.
that's just, remember when we did the treasurer, some didn't care and it was an open session,
Okay, that's fine.
cause it's,
Set it up. We can do it in the afternoon.
how's that work on the 24 hours? That counts on the weekends then?
yeah, I can post it today.
Okay.
Or I can post it Saturday, Sunday, whenever, as long as I
Well, like
post
I
it.
said, it's just 2 phone calls.
We
And I
can
got
recess.
both, I got both their numbers right here.
Do you wanna recess, call them, so you're not on?
Well, I can call once is that the last thing we gotta discuss?
That's it, right there.
Yep. And then we can
So,
set our dates
We
up.
can,
You make the phone calls afterwards and she can set it up.
yeah,
Then she got it posted. Okay?
well then we can go maybe even, oh, that's right, it's Monday we got the weekend, so. Yeah,
You can shoot for afternoon or morning.
Afternoon,
okay,
1 o'clock.
yeah,
but Monday is a hectic day for me. But by Monday afternoon, I can be over the top.
okay.
So what time? 2?
I don't care. 1.
I just soon do it at 1, because you don't want to schedule an hour for each. You're not taking an hour, but
Okay. Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
we don't need to set up this yet. You'll do it then.
Well, it's just like how we called today, I mean,
She sets it up.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.